I don't know if I should if I say it.
I think
even
you got it,
know
bro.
what I mean? Okay. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Monday. It's morning.
It's macabre.
Guys. Oh my god, guys. Guess what? It's that day of the week again. Everyone always says my favorite day of the week is Mondays.
Yeah, except Garfield.
And I just can't get enough of them. Yeah, Garfield hates Mondays.
But fuck him. He's a cat. Like,
but
who is he
canonically, he actually voted. Never mind. So Scones, you've had a wild week. Tell everyone about it.
I've had maybe the wildest week. So,
You
it
went
was
to
nice out.
Canopy Lake Park.
Yes. I went to water country,
Water
water
country. Have some fun.
Have some fun. Dun, dun,
Bow,
dun.
bow, bow.
I'm setting
That was a commercial that lives in my brain. Like, I've seen that commercial so many times from like 2004 to like 2012.
Yeah, people in New England will know what that is, and no one else. Or at least in like northern New England.
Yeah, I think
Because
where was Water
Yeah.
Country? I don't think I ever went.
it was in New Hampshire, but my lady friend from Connecticut
Oh.
didn't see those commercials, so it's like
Sheesh.
there was
so
a
she's
there was a
like,
cutoff.
What do you? She's like, there was an entire country up there that we don't know about.
Yeah, the hidden water country.
You're like, yeah.
It's almost like what we our little topic.
Oh yeah, it's like the like Gilgafoils or whatever.
Our
they're called.
Mount Shasta is
Water country in New Hampshire.
Yep.
That's correct. This is a part twosie.
Pardon.
A part deux of the Mount Shasta Boulogne.
Ooh, pardon our pardon.
Sheesh. So I hope everybody did your
I hope everyone
homework.
just sits down and shuts up.
I hope everyone did their assigned reading. I hope you guys have done your homework.
We're gonna do popcorn reading, and we're reading
if
Huck
you guys,
Finn.
If you guys get the ball, then you gotta. Did you have a special? Obviously you know about the ball, right? But did you have a teacher that was like, instead of a ball, we're gonna use the magic fish or something like that?
No, we just did straight up honor system popcorn reading where you got to choose the next
Okay.
person after you read a page. But it got very awkward when, again, you get to Huck Finn and the N words all over that book, and it's like,
Yeah.
and nobody
you're
said
like-
it, but like the first kid had to like make that judgment for himself.
Yeah. Had to
And
be
again,
like,
I'm from Massachusetts, like a very all white town, like
Uh-huh. Someone was like, "Yo, pass me the rock." Oh no. I made a mistake.
The Rock.
The rock. Wait, no. As it's in midair coming towards your face.
Yeah,
That
you're
person-
like,
dude,
oh
that's-
no, his name's just Joe.
It's literally the most intense game of hot potato I've played in my entire life. that
The
was-
American educational system.
Gotta love it. Live,
And
laugh,
who
love
does
it.
the popcorn reading help? Is it to get kids to pay attention? Maybe
Scones, you say popcorn in a very peculiar way.
popcorn.
You say
Popcorn.
popcorn like it's a small dog's corn.
Popcorn. Just some popcorn.
You say
Shout
popcorn.
out
This
to
is
popcorn,
this is
dude.
fascinating. This is what we're going to talk about today. Is
You gotta get some butter. Put it. Just absolutely smother your
just
popcorn in butter.
slather it. I actually
then
lick
some
each
salt.
piece.
Also gotta slather it. That thing's gotta be at least like 2,000 calories going down your gullet.
Speaking of popcorn, do you know what your worst movie theater experience was? Because I know what mine is, and I'm curious to see if you have one. Because I have a very distinct memory, and it made me very upset for about 2 hours. But I want to hear if you happen to have one before I go on my tirade.
I'm wondering if we have the same one.
We do. There's no way.
Okay. So yours was not in college.
Does yours involve Jackie Chan?
No, that sounds sick though. I was at the movie The Witch, and the theater was full, and people just started talking and taking phone calls during it in
That
West
sucks.
Springfield, and that was awful.
Ooh, that's not great.
And
No.
then Revenge of the Fallen was awful. That movie, and then just anytime I get like a group of teenagers trying to like
Yeah.
really make a girl laugh, like behind,
That's always tough.
it's like, like
Yeah.
I get what you're trying to do. I've been there,
We've been there. We know.
but it sucks, dude. It's so
Yeah.
loud, and I can't hear what's going on. And
We
it's
do get
like
to have the adult
a
perspective
serious
now.
movie.
Yeah, and be like, Could you please keep it down?
Just go to the back and quietly like do your weird stuff. Like, don't.
Yeah.
Why
Like
are you up in the good seats?
I was probably 11 years old, and I went with Brian Lee to see Rush Hour 2.
Ah, that's a great movie.
And that's where Jackie Chan comes in. But the guy sitting next to me brought like a full like couple of cheeseburgers, like a full meal of cheeseburgers.
Is this in the old theater too that we used to go to?
No,
Oh,
this was
man.
not in that one.
Oh,
Not in
okay.
that one. This was in the theater in where is that? Not Emerald Square.
Patriots
maybe?
Place?
No. This was before Patriots Place existed.
Oh, like the Emerald Square Mall or something.
Yeah, it was one of the ones that like wasn't in my hometown, but it was like
Right.
kind of But this dude ate these. The problem wasn't the fact that he brought like a dinner with him of cheeseburgers.
Just
The
a
problem
bag
was-
of burgers.
Whatever was on those cheeseburgers was so fragrant, and it was like just in my face the entire movie, and all
Like
I smelled was
bad
like
or, like,
sauce. It was
normal
not good.
Cheeseburgers.
It was like
sauce.
bad.
Oh.
And I was like grossed out, and it was not a good time. And I still have distinct memories of the smell and the human being to my left who brought those 2 goddamn cheeseburgers into Rush
He
Hour
was
2.
directly next to you.
Yeah, he
just
was like,
unwrapping and burgering.
"Hey, you want to rub elbows while I shove down this burger, dude?" And I'm like,
That's
"This
tough.
is I'm gonna talk about this in like 15 years on a podcast or whatever."
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are. So this is part 2. Anyway,
God, I wish I had some
I'm
popcorn
glad-
right now.
I'm glad we got that out of our system. Isn't that Mount Shasta?
Right in with your worst movie going experience.
Yeah, tell us what the film was, tell us what happened, and tell us why it was bad. And Scones, do you want to kick off? the
So,
old part
for
twos?
so last week
Last
on
previously
Monday
on
Morning, Monday Morning Macabre, we talked about Mount
Scones, put
Shasta,
down the gun.
a mountain in California that has a lot of secrets and
Secrets?
myths around it.
A lot of
And,
Ryan Seacrests.
The big one being that a ancient like subrace of humans who are more advanced than us, called the Lemurians,
Yeah.
secretly have a city under this mountain and have all kinds of futuristic technology and mystical abilities and psionic abilities and crazy stuff like that.
The Nintendo 65 is down there, dude.
If you want to learn more, check out last week's episode of
Sheesh.
Monday Macabre.
Monday Morning
I don't even
Macabre.
know what episode number
It
we're
doesn't
on.
matter. We've done like 400 episodes.
That's crazy.
We haven't
dude.
done
We're
400
like a
episodes, but we've
successful
done-
sitcom, dude.
Yeah. We get paid $1 million an episode.
Wow,
just like
$400
Friends.
million.
$400
What am I gonna
million.
do with all of it?
I'm gonna throw it into a furnace, baby. Keep myself warm for a day or two. I like it hot.
Many more accounts. Oh, and again, we're reading from journalnews.com.ph.
A
Article,
classic.
article written by a user called People's Tonight.
So you know this is legit. This
So
is
you know
big
this
primary.
is history, dude.
Yeah.
If you were thinking about going to a museum, stop.
stop,
Save your money. We got you.
stop, don't touch me there. This is my
Also,
private square.
they have weird ads of like
old man
like-
t-shirts.
old man like boomer jokes on like medieval style shirts, including a medieval like tunic with Animal from the Muppets on it, and I'm here for it. But
Damn, dude, that's pretty sick. I got to give it to them there.
lightenthebox.com.
They're like, I
Anyway.
figured out the two interests that will combine perfectly, which is older men who love medieval tunics and Animal from the Muppets.
It's incredible.
Pretty
Well,
pog.
I can't even read what it says. It says, "I am something unsupervised.
I am
something,
Groot."
something."
It's
But
just
the
Animal from the
possibility,
Muppets.
yeah, it's just Animal. Many more accounts concerning the purported Lemurian civilization of Mount Shasta would surface over the years.
Yeah.
In May 22nd, 1932 edition of the Los Angeles Times, there appears the odd account of a Mr. Edward Lancer, who had been passing Mount Shasta on a train when he claimed to have been seen the whole southern side of the mountain blaze to life with brilliant, almost blinding, strange reddish-green illumination.
That would be fucking terrifying.
So he's blazing up on the south side of the mountain, dude.
Yeah, he's ripping.
Pow is fresh. Sun's out. Skiing's bitching.
Hell yeah.
When he asked the train conductor what it was that he had seen, he was assured that it had been the work of the Lemurians. The perplexed Lancer later went to investigate the strange light further and reportedly asked locals from the area's town about what he had seen, to which they replied that there was a mysterious community of people living within the mountain
Damn.
who were known to perform rituals in the early mornings and the evenings, which made use of strange sources of brilliant light that could have explained his sightings. So it's just like a sick party that the Lemurians are doing.
That like no one else is invited to.
Pretty much. Just a sick laser light show.
It's their Burning Man. And they're just like...
They're just
doing
smoking
peyote.
some jazz cigarettes and doing laser shows, yeah.
They're like, yo, bro, watch this shit, boy. And it's just like the entire mountain fucking lights
Dude,
up.
stop. Humans are going to
Like,
find
dude,
us.
we're subterranean for a reason, bro.
Get back in here. This ceremony was allegedly known as the Ceremony of Adoration to Gautama, with Gautama supposedly being the Lemurian word for America, and the ceremony celebrating their ancestors' arrival on the continent after their own had tragically been swallowed beneath the waves.
Damn.
So if you don't remember from last week, Lemurians were
Atlantis.
supposedly on a continent between India and Madagascar, explaining why there's lemurs in India, I guess, is what it said. And that's
called Indigascar.
Which is why Lemurians, lemurs, weird thing to name them after. But yeah, and then it went full Atlantis and got swallowed up.
Yeah, then Chris Rock played a zebra in a movie.
It was sick.
It was
and
sick.
They made a hippo hella thick.
It was like, I learned something about myself.
It's funny because how did that come up the other day? Gloria the hippo
from Madagascar
came up. What were we talking
I'm
about?
impressed you even know the name.
Oh, of course I do.
Can you name all of the Madagascar animals?
Let's go. It's Gloria. It's
Let's go. Let's go.
King
right.
Julian. It's Alex the lion.
Okay.
Fuck, what's the giraffe's name? I don't know. That's it.
Damn.
I got Alex, Gloria, King Julian. Sorry, everybody. I let you down.
You're never gonna make it in the big
in
leagues.
the big zoos.
You're never gonna get to the New York Zoo, baby.
It was explained that these ceremonies use extremely bright sources of mysterious light, which were known to light up the whole side of the mountain. The locals also said that the Lemurians were known to come down from their secretive mountain realm into town from time to time. Towering. This guy's going off, dude.
Huge.
Odd-looking folk clad in their white robes and barefoot, who would buy huge amounts of sulfur, salt, and lard, which they would always pay for in gold nuggets that far exceeded the value of the merchandise.
Hell yeah.
So the locals they're not even hiding. They're just coming down.
Yeah, they're
in
just
their
like, hey, what's up,
robes.
homie?
They're like, you want some nugs? And then
You're
they're
like,
just
bro, hit this shit.
when Lancer made known his intentions to go up the mountain and find these Lemurians and the source of light he had seen, Lancer lamented that the local officials and ranchers freely ridiculed my avowed trek into the sacred precincts, assuring me that an entrance was as difficult and forbidden as an entrance into Tibet. Which I didn't know Tibet was
is that a hard thing
into.
to... I was going to say, I didn't know that either.
I mean, I've never been there. Now I know why.
Oh,
too
man, I've been
hard.
trying, and I just can't find the door.
His hopes forever finding the city dashed. Lancer seemingly gave up on his quest, and it is unknown what exactly it became to him, or whether he finally found what he was searching for, or merely faded into obscurity.
Mm.
In June 27th, 1940, in addition of the Mount Shasta Herald, William Bridge Cook wrote of a Professor Edward L. Larkin of the Mount Lowe Observatory, who claimed to have observed the mystical city at great length through his telescope on several occasions. So he's just peeping.
Yeah, he's like, what's going on in there? Can I look?
Also, crazy good telescope if you can see through a mountain.
True. Yeah, that's might be an X-ray.
Larkin had allegedly discovered the city by accident as he was calibrating his...
Mr. Larkin, see ya.
I know she knows who I am.
Anyway.
Larkin had allegedly discovered the city by accident as he was calibrating his telescope and spied something shining anomalously on the mountain. Finding this to be peculiar. Sorry, everybody, my vocal warm-ups did not do me justice.
Mommy made me munch my M&Ms.
Red leather, yellow leather. Finding this to be peculiar. Oh my god!
Oh boy, this is the final boss of Monday Morning Macabre.
Dude. That word wins. Peculiar. He then focused on the object and found it to be an enormous Oriental-style temple, which he described as a marvelous work of carved marble and onyx, rivaling in architecture, splendor, and magnificence of the temples of Yucatan. So,
one of my favorite peninsulas.
Means, you a big Yucca guy?
I'm a Yucca potato and a Yucatan Peninsula kind of guy.
Wow.
I'm cultured. What can I say?
Listeners,
when you try to get into the Tibetan door a couple times, you learn a thing or two.
Even after like 400 episodes, people are still learning new stuff.
Insightful. I put it all out on the court, you know?
Yeah.
I'm diving for the ball. I don't care who's got it. I don't care if it's my own teammate. Speaking of Tommy, I'm trying to get a Tommy Hilfiger sponsorship. If you guys know any corporate representatives of Tommy Hilfiger, I'm
trying to get a Tommy John surgery sponsorship.
I'm trying to get a surgery. I'm trying to get Tommy Hilfiger to do my Tommy John surgery so that I can go to Tommy Pickles and tell him that I miss his show.
Your tendons would come out more stylish than they've ever been.
Dude, my tendies? Yum, yum, yum.
Larkin would go on to claim to have seen other temples in the mountainside as well, including one in the apparent Greek style, decked out with magnificent shining white marble columns.
Can you name the 3 styles of Roman column? Or Greek column? I don't know which one it is.
Nasty style. Goofy style.
Yep.
And traditional.
Oh, yeah, you were really close. I mean, nasty style was right. Then there's Ionic, and then there's Corinthian. But you got nasty style.
I remember using my finger skateboard in church and hearing of the word Corinthian.
Yeah, well, so goofy style is when you eat a hot dog backwards with your left hand.
You eat it the wide way?
Yeah. You turn on your side and give it a big smile so you look goofy. That's goofy style.
I heard an insult a couple months ago that someone said that the person they were insulting, they said that they eat corn on the cob the long way. I was like, I don't even know what that means.
Scones.
It sounds so hard.
Were you the person in this story that was being insulted? The way you phrased this was very much like, I have a friend who...
So they were like, he eats corn on the cob the long way. And I was like, that's totally normal, right?
You're like, what do you mean? You eat corn on the cob?
How stupid is that insult, everybody?
Yeah, everybody. I don't know what they meant by that. I'm not insulted
dude,
at all.
I wish I had some corn. That's coming up, dude. Corn on the cob season's fast approaching.
Dude, we're going from corned beef to corn on the cob like in a week.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's a corn on corn, bro.
Oh, cornbread. Summer of cornbread. Shout out. Ty Cabone. Definitely does not listen.
Cornbread. Definitely doesn't, but maybe one day when we both die and he feels bad.
We have multiple friends, me and Darcy, that are like, I don't listen to your podcast at all, but I tell other people to listen. I was like, that's all I can ask for.
Hey, man, that's a good friend right there. That's
in addition,
I was gonna say also sick brag about us having friends. All right.
In addition to mentioning the opulent architecture, Larkin also claimed that the vicinity of the temples would often be beset by mysterious bright lights in the evening hours, and claimed that the temples and lights were from the descendants of the Lemurian people. So these lights are pretty consistent across all these sightings, that there's a sick light show somewhere going on.
Yeah.
He said of these lights,
what if it was a Marshmello concert?
Ooh.
They didn't think of that.
Before they had to cram it into Fortnite or whatever?
Yeah, he's like, yo, I just got to do a show on the side of this mountain, Mount Shasta, real quick.
Yo, gotta go play for the Lemurians. They're paying in straight gold.
They're paying in future technology that lets me make even more synth beats.
So, just a reminder, this is 1940, and he said, Larkin said of the lights, their display of light far excels our modern electrical achievements.
Ooh.
And I am, for one, consumed with curiosity to know how these people can produce such amazing light effects.
Huh.
So this is like this is before
Is this-
Tomorrowland, dude.
Is there any chance this is some kind of like Aurora type deal?
Aurora
Like-
Borealis, dude.
Dude, the Aurora Goofy style Yalis.
Listen, if there was some kind of natural phenomenon going on, I'm sure journalnews.com.ph would tell us, all right?
You're right. What was the U/ sound guy or something like that? What's the guy's name?
It's like the user is
This is important.
People's Tonight.
People's Tonight. It sounds
People's
like
Tonight would not lie to
a
us.
foreign Tonight Show title.
Yeah, it does.
Like they translated it over. People's
And they're
Tonight
like,
with Fallon
do the
Jimmy.
hair and the yeah. Make it as close as possible. Oh
man.
God, I had to scroll up for People's Tonight and I lost my spot. Hold on.
Just do a Control F on electricity or light, whatever. You're talking about how it's way cooler to be electric back then.
That it was pretty cool to be electric back then.
It's electric.
In an odd twist, Larkin then apparently became sidetracked by other work and was never
Odd
able to
twist.
locate the temples he had seen again. He's like, dude, there's a whole lost city with amazing
Yeah,
technology,
right.
but dude, I'm just swamped.
Also, what a good PR move to be like, yeah, it was just like it was an odd twist.
I'm in the
I just-
weeds, guys.
I was in it and then I just stopped. It was just a real odd twist.
The boss is busting my hump, dude.
It's tax season. I got to get that all in order. You know how that is.
Cook, for his part, then proceeds to spend most of the rest of the article trying to actively debunk the claim through the standpoint that it would have been physically impossible for Larkin to have seen what he claimed from his particular vantage point. But it is still a curious account nevertheless.
Okay, wait. So at the
Curious,
very
right?
end, we
Curious.
just throw in there like, oh, by the way, there's pretty good proof that this is all made up.
I mean, it's
But
curious that
we're
he
not
would
gonna
lie.
focus on it.
I'm curious now as to what is so tragically boring in his life that he would make up this
Dude,
lie.
I got bad news. Humans lie a lot.
Ugh,
It's
I-
like
but,
mostly
like,
lies.
But I don't lie that big. Do you know what I mean?
True.
Like I'm
Yeah,
never
he-
coming
well,
to
that's
the,
because
up
we
to
have
the
social
bar
media.
like, guys, there is a mountain near me, and they're like, first of all, no, there isn't, and I'm like, and there's lights all over it, like dancing lights.
I
stuff
saw
that isn't
lemur men.
possible.
But we have social media and the internet, so like our dopamine levels are already like so effed up that like we don't need to look for that anymore. Where we like have to go to a local bar and just spout nonsense because
So just
we
nothing
need
matters
some
anymore.
kind of yeah. It's just an existential crisis, is what I'm trying to say. But like, back then he was probably like, oh, I need to feel something, so let me go to the bar and tell them about a sick LSD trip I took.
Dude, I'm
And-
actually having. Speaking of existential
well,
crises,
let's talk about it. I love it.
I'm not gonna lie. This has nothing to do with this article, listeners. So like, skip ahead or whatever. I don't care. I have so much worry that eventually my job's not gonna matter because
Oh, because of ChatGPT.
AI is getting so good.
You know what's funny is yesterday I was trying to figure out how to stand up this environment I was working in,
Did you?
and I went to ChatGPT and I said, "Hey, how do I do this?" And it just gave me a step-by-step, dead-on fucking specific ass like every configuration thing I had to do to make it happen. I was like, "This is crazy."
Right. So eventually, will we need anything? Because can't you just
Yeah.
put requirements into a Chat GPT and
Yeah, but
then-
robots can't make podcasts, dude.
Thank God we're still here, baby.
We're here, baby. We picked the right.
At least not
lottery
without getting
ticket.
racist
Yeah, they eventually get racist. That's the downfall of AI.
and white guys
And yeah.
and adult men.
And anything in 1955.
We're not that different. Us and the machines.
Us and those machinas.
The Lemurians were also claimed to be were also claimed to be able to influence their environment and to exhibit extraordinary architectural know-how. A 1962 edition of the Australian Flying Saucer Review, a great publication,
Love it.
mentions in an article by Andrew Thomas the curious case of a forest fire in 1931, which ravaged much of the mountain, yet was kept from advancing by the appearance of a mysterious fog that halted the blaze in its tracks. In the aftermath of the fire, it was reportedly discovered that there was a perfectly clear and curved demarcation zone remaining between the charred earth and undamaged areas. It was said by locals that this was the work of the Lemurians protecting their domain through some unknown technological wizardry.
Oh no.
Likewise, it is said that their city and structures are impervious to the effects of the many earthquakes that ravage the region. Such is their
That's pretty sick.
architectural skill, and perhaps even due to their alleged ability to control the earth itself.
That's a sheesh from me, dog.
That's one of those places where it's like, I can't believe there's locals. Like, people live there that it's just like, well, earthquake again.
Yeah, there's like, gee, oh,
And I get,
sorry.
like, obviously, like, there's costs and, like, limitations
No,
to people
they
moving
should
away from natural
change.
disasters. But people will just keep moving to natural disaster areas.
Yeah, they're like, yo, all right, where do you want to be? Right on the water on the coast where there's a bunch of tidal waves? Or
Or
we
under
could
the
go,
water.
there's this whole alley in the Midwest that we could live in with tornadoes, or we could go to Earthquake City. We could be on some fault lines, babies.
Yeah, we're hashtag blessed.
Dude, don't fault the people, fault the lines. You know what I mean?
Dude, put it on a t-shirt. Print it. Phil,
Print
get to
it,
printing
put it
that.
on a medieval tunic, and I'm in.
Phil, print that on Medieval Tunic ASAP.
Oh, whoa, Phil.
Is he okay?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Oh, that's good. Is
I
everything all right at home?
I printed it on a card.
Oh, yes. That's good idea. Much higher profit margin if we
V-
print all our stuff on cars instead of shirts.
V6 or V8?
V6. We're not looking to higher profit margin again. Oh, listen to that bad boy purr. And it looks
this
great
is-
with that slogan on the side. I don't even know what the slogan is at this point.
Don't blame people.
Oh, fault lines.
Thanks, Phil. Yeah.
These Lemurian people and their strange devices have long been seen in the area right up to the present, with sightings and accounts too numerous to list here. So don't ask. Typically, they are seen walking along roads or even city streets of towns on Mount Shasta, only to suddenly disappear as if they were never there at all. Presumably due to their psychic abilities and uncanny expert knack for blending into their surroundings. Often,
Okay.
they are only glimpsed with the periphery of vision and elude any efforts to spot them straight on. They are sometimes known to appear to help farmers who have fallen on hard times, using some sort of advanced agricultural techniques that revive the soil as if by magic. One account tells of a Lemurian woman who emerged from the forest in full view of a group of people and proceeded to lie down in the frigid water of Panther Springs for a full 5 minutes before silently getting back up and walking into the wilderness from whence she'd come. All the while dripping wet from the freezing water.
Dripping. She was cooking.
Sound like elves.
Yeah. Actually, elves are known to be
Hey, you said it best, brother.
you know.
They're also
You know when you
numerous-
talk about people and they like elves?
I feel like I don't meet a lot of people like that nowadays.
Well, let me tell you a
Charles,
little
are you
something.
living in some kind of land of elf fans?
So my neighbor's name, you're never gonna believe this, is Galadriel, and
Wow.
who I know. And I'm like, wait a minute. You mean? And they're like, yup.
Does she
It's
have
us.
the ring?
That's the thing, is I was like
her
checking
ring,
her hands.
not the ring, but
Yeah,
her
no.
ring.
She had like a mood ring, and it was red
Yes.
for like, wow, this guy's really cool. I think he's awesome.
Wow.
I think that's what it means. So I'm just trying to play
See,
it cool.
someone watched Rings of Power.
I watched Power thinking it was Rings of Power. Way different show. Way different time. I was not.
I was like,
very.
where's
I was like,
Sauron?
yeah. I was
Which
like,
one of
wait,
them's
what?
Sauron?
Which one of these is Frodo or his grandfather? I don't know.
There are also
Are you
numerous,
Smaug?
there are also numerous sightings of a strange boat, which is said to sail as far as the Aleutian Islands and will approach shore only to suddenly hover in the air and make its way to Mount Shasta.
That's hilarious.
It's like, oh shit!
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
Pull up the anchor! Someone's here!
Yeah, just zips away.
One old account even mentions a visit to San Francisco by a white-robed patriarch said to represent the Lemurian community.
That's
Typical.
hilarious. Yeah, classic white robe patriarchy, dude.
Who was joined by an entourage of younger men and actually supposedly met the city officials to bring a message of greetings and goodwill during World War I.
Shout out to Turtle.
So a bunch of guys in white robes who were dodging the draft came to San Francisco.
Bunch of shit.
And we're like, hope everything's good. And they're like, it's World War I.
They're like, dude, mustard gas is everywhere.
Tales of people actually entering the wondrous, bejeweled Lemurian city abound as well. A Dr. M. Doriel, which is a wonderful name.
That sounds like a fake name.
Dr. M. Doriel claimed that
I'm M. Doriel.
claimed that he had penetrated into the mountain lair of the Lemurians and saw what he described as an enormous cavern that was an astounding 20 miles long, 15 miles wide, and 2 miles high.
That's all big cavern.
That's a huge cavern, and he
architect.
measured it, right?
Yeah.
20 miles long. That is like,
I mean, sheesh.
that's not possible.
It just sounds fabricated almost.
That's bizarre. That's like my hometown to Boston. Like, that's an insane mountain.
If it wasn't for worldnews.ph, I wouldn't believe.
Journalnews.com.ph.
Sorry. I
What
wouldn't
is
believe this is
.ph?
true.
Is that like the Philippines?
Philippines, yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, 2 miles high, which was illuminated by a gigantic blazing artificial sun right in its center.
Classic.
So again, that's pretty persistent with other accounts, is that they have an artificial sun in there, which is how they survive while still being in a mountain.
And doesn't burn away anything or affects the earth in any way.
No, it's
shape, or
artificial.
form. Okay. It's full of preservatives.
That means they've conquered nuclear fusion, right?
Yeah. I don't know why they're still subterranean and they don't just take over the world.
Oh, they could eliminate us.
They have an artificial sun. They could just be like, hey, everyone's gone now because bing, bang, boom, sun is hot.
Bing, bang, boom. Sun is hot.
Sun is
hey,
hot.
Bing, bang, boom. Sun is hot.
When the sun down and the artificial sun is hot.
Yet another
Old
account
Mungo
mentions
Jerry.
a man who fell asleep on the mountain, only to be awakened by a Lemurian who then brought him to a magnificent city paved with gold. One of the
Why?
strange... Because he had some
It's like, yo,
sick...
check this shit
he
out.
took some sick drugs beforehand.
Yeah.
One of the strangest stories of finding an underground city within Mount Shasta comes from a 1904 account, which first appeared in the 1934 edition of the Stockton Record concerning a J.C. Brown, a British prospector who had come to the mountain with the Lord Cowdray Mining Company to prospect for gold. During this expedition, Brown allegedly stumbled across a tunnel in the hillside which led down into the darkness below the mountain. The prospector decided to venture into the opening and found that it stretched several miles into the murk and ended in a complex room full of ornate statues, crystals, shields, and gold and copper plates. There was also an enigmatic and extravagantly decorated burial chamber containing at least 27 mummies that were described as being between 6'6" to 10 feet in height.
Yo, that's the whole NBA squad down there.
What are they doing being mummified? Should have been hooping.
You should have been open. Also, I don't believe anyone from 1904.
Why?
I'm gonna be straight up. They barely had pockets. That you're gonna tell me that they know all about like underground societies? Like I don't fucking trust you. Like how the fuck?
Coming after their pockets, ladies and
Well,
gentlemen.
for real, like you guys barely understand how to put a pocket in a coat,
Oh, they don't know anything about anything.
and so but now you just know about the Lemurians. Yeah, right,
They were like,
Yeah,
I have
right.
tuberculosis, and they were like, do this cocaine.
right.
And,
And I'm supposed to believe you?
do cocaine and let these leeches devour you. That'll help your
Yeah.
lungs.
And then find a bunch of mummies in a basement.
That's sick. Who all should have been hooping.
Hoopin'.
This discovery was touted by Brown as being one of... That's what I think of every time I see anyone tall now is Terry Rozier tweeting. Osama was tall as hell. Should have been. Oh, let me try and
Should've
find
been
it so I do
him.
it justice.
Oh,
I think we've talked
man.
about this before.
I think we have too,
on the
but it's
pod,
so
But we talk
funny.
about it all the time.
It's one of the best tweets of all time, I think.
So I'm assuming everyone of the listeners know who Osama bin Laden was, and that you might not know, but he was pretty tall. He was like 6'6". And Terry Rozier in May 1st, 2011, tweeted, Osama should have hooped instead of trying to kill people because he's tall as hell.
It's so good.
So good.
It's a great tweet.
It will age perfectly forever.
Yep, forever. Can't go wrong.
The discovery was touted by Brown as being one of the most exciting archaeological finds of the century, and eventually an expedition led by John C. Root and comprised of 80 members was brought together to further explore the tunnels based on these claims. So we're checking. We're like, that's a pretty crazy story. We got 80 people that are going to go check this out.
Yeah.
However, on June 19th, 1934, the day the exploration was set to set out from Stockton, California, J.C. Brown did not show up. And in fact, he was never seen again.
That boy pieced.
It is a remarkable story to be sure, but seems highly suspicious since the find was made allegedly in 1904, yet the story was not made public until 1934. What happened in the intervening 3 decades? Although more modern explorers have from time to time claimed to have found J.C. Brown's mysterious underground complex, its locations, indeed, whether it... Hold on, this sentence is hella crazy. Although more modern explorers have from time to time claimed to have found J.C. Brown's mysterious underground complex, its locations, indeed whether it ever even really existed, remains a total mystery. I don't think that's... Anyway.
That's that pH coming into play.
Who are these alleged Lemurians? Survivors of a long-lost continent? Aliens? Interdimensional beings? A bunch of hippies camped out in the wilderness? Nothing at all? Is there any truth whatsoever to these accounts? Who knows? What we do know is that Mount Shasta has long been surrounded by myth and legend, an imposing and majestic peak that commands attention and draws strange tales to it. Perhaps this is all just rumors and myth, but it is not hard to imagine that the place dwells in some hazy realm between our realm and the next.
Sheesh. More like Mount Shishta.
So, Dars, I think we gotta go.
Yeah, let's I got nothing to do.
My dream is to just become a billionaire, and then we follow up
Oh,
every
yeah.
single
That would
episode
be
we've
awesome.
ever done.
I've got no responsibilities, so I'm in.
Yeah, well, that's what the billionaires. That's what the money pays
True.
for, baby.
That's why you get the mammy.
You get the
And then you
robots.
The robot mammies. Chat GPT, more like chat watch my kids, am I right?
Watch these K's, baby.
Chat DEEZ, dude.
WTK, watch these kids.
Well, you know, as much as I think this story is probably a bit embellished
Mm-hmm.
by people who barely had pockets and rode horses,
I
I
think
do
it's real.
think, yeah, I was gonna say I do think it's all real.
It's
So
it is kind of crazy that what we've talked about, like in this article, it kind of spans basically just 1900 to like the 40s.
yeah,
And it is a little crazy that with everything going on there at the time, that this was at all anyone's focus, and that it is consistent sightings, which of course maybe they've heard of it, like heard it.
yeah, it
from
could just
each
be
other.
a tail passed down.
But
or
if
what have
not,
you, but,
like that lighting thing is pretty crazy, unless it is
Yeah.
like some kind of
maybe just like Tesla was chilling there.
ooh,
You know?
Elon like was born then.
Yo, Elon was there, and he was like, "Ha ha ha ha! Let's make this."
I
yeah.
am bald at this point. Ha ha ha.
This is before the surgery. Ha ha ha.
Ha, ha, ha.
Shout out Elon.
Shout out
if you want to
SpaceX
invest.
listeners.
Shout out SpaceX. Shout out Elon. Shout out Space Elon. Yeah, that is always the thing, is when you've got multiple corroborating stories where you're like, okay, there may be something here, or just everyone was like, hey, let's play a funny prank.
It's like something's happening.
Yeah. Is it a race of people from Atlantis who bored into the side of a mountain and created an artificial sun?
Who all should have
Maybe.
been hooping, apparently.
Should have had mummies hooping in the basement? Maybe. But who's to say? Scones, at the end of the day, what is life?
Life is nothing but a series of
Listeners.
moments, you know?
Right in.
Right in.
Right in. What is life? What is life? Thanks for listening, everybody. Check us out. Macabre Pod. Macabre Pod on Twitter. Monday Morning Macabre on Instagram. MondayMorningMacabre.com for your merch and Patreon and all that jazz. And if you're feeling extra
Whole
nice,
season.
here is my bank account
Oh, that's
number,
not what I thought you were
routing
gonna say.
number. No, I'm going to give them my checking account and routing number.
Good. Please. Write it down. Use ink.
604B beep boop boop .com. So send money directly to
I
that.
got it written down right in.
And besides that, I love you all more than you know.
Have a great Monday.
Goodbye.
Bye.